Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Susan. I was typing in the chat. Hey, Susan. I remember. Wait a minute. I'm about to push live. So let me just come in and say hey to Susan instead of typing it. Listen to Nino. He waited. He always swears somebody came in the house. You can't open a door without Nino deciding that means company has come into the house. He was outside getting some air. Yesterday was pretty cool out here, but today it's beautiful. It's nice. It's nice. It almost seems like it's gonna get warmer. I was sitting around here eating some fresh pineapple, enjoying it. What are you doing today, Susan? What are you doing on this Sunday? Yeah, I'm just relaxing. Oh, happy Siblings Day. Today is National Siblings Day. I want to definitely say happy Siblings Day to my siblings. I love my siblings. I am my brother's keeper. I truly believe that siblings are the true test of learning to love people. So, the more you get to understand, the more it makes me love my siblings even more and more every day. So they are definitely parts of me, things I breathe for. I love my siblings. Happy Siblings Day. But I do understand sometimes there's sibling rivalry and sometimes there's siblings getting, disagreeing with each other or they might not communicate. But, definitely try to form some kind of relationship with your sibling. That's what I say. But anyway, how was your day? Hey, Dana. Happy Sunday, sis. What are you doing today? I mean, this pineapple. Trying not to get it everywhere. Hmm. Hold on, Susan. Today I have the light on, so it really makes a difference when you go to look at the when I go to look at the screen, the computer screen to read the comments. Let's see. Oh, super windy. Yeah, yesterday was windy and cool. Like I said, today is nice. Today is beautiful. We're supposed to go see Sonic today. And so today should be a good day. Hey, Big C. How you doing? What you doing on this Sunday? And like I said, I was chilling, eating some pineapples. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna let you know me too. Come on. I said if I don't open the door and let him in, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get in the middle of talking, and he's gonna be trying to get inside. So let me let him in right now. Why he's not putting on a show? But yeah, today I'm just relaxing. Yesterday I did a lot of watching. I tried as much as possible to drop in and let it be known I was watching. And that's all I did. I did a lot of watching yesterday. And I'm starting to see more and more of like conversation. Like I said, let me tell you something. The great thing about YouTube is it has everything. Anything you're looking for is on here. It's a way to do it. So I never knock. Everybody has a different reason, a different purpose. And you always have to have a balance of what some might call bad or messy. You have to have this balance of it because it protects. It almost puts a layer, puts a layer out there. We all know what too much is. But yeah, like I said, I just was watching, enjoying, doing a lot of that yesterday. It was all good, but I started noticing more uh, fun. That coming back. The areas of fun I feel like have been far and few between. We get to see them, but I've really in the last couple of days enjoyed going around and seeing everyone's different lives or different uploads. I really enjoy people's shorts. I've really enjoyed that. So always a good thing. That's always a good thing. Because like I said, some areas you came to for the good, But that's no longer what was going on there. So it's not like I came and it was one way and I'm mad that you're not, that you're the same way. No, I came and you were a place I enjoyed reviews and then it became a shit show. Those are two different things. So I'm just glad to see everybody going back to what they do. And hey, if the mess or whatever it is what you do best, enjoy that too. I'm just glad to see people going back to what they do. Oh yeah, work, Vixie. Yeah, one thing about any kind of restaurant or eating staff when you're doing that, you need everybody. I need everybody to be there. Everybody not only be there but do their job, and it makes it run so much more smoothly. Because otherwise, then I'm doubling jobs. I'm doing 8 different jobs just to have this kitchen run right, just to make sure orders are right. People are getting their stuff. Oh, those days. How I remember them. How I remember them. Yeah, yesterday my sister was saying let's take a walk today, but then my nephew came by and said he wanted to go take us to see Sonic. So it's like Sonic wins today. The big kid came out and me like Sonic, like, oh yeah, I definitely want to see that. I definitely want to see that. And like I said, these days, other than the fact that movie theaters cost $8 billion to go to, it's $100 date. It's no longer when your kids are young, you're like, okay, their first date should be at the movie. Oh no, honey, that sounds pretty expensive. How about we just rent a movie? Rent a movie. No, I'm just playing, but it is very expensive to go to the movies these days. Oh my goodness. What I like is a couple of years ago, I don't know if they're still doing it because I know during the pandemic they had stopped it, but a lot of places were having like the movies in the park. I really like that better. I love the drive-in, to be honest with you. If you ask me what form of going to see a movie I like the most, it's a drive-in. I love the whole concept of a drive-in, the whole going to the drive-in. I just like the drive-in a lot. I really do. And it's the best way to bring all your own snacks and then not be sneaking it in like to a movie theater. Because a movie theater, I don't care if it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, their snacks and stuff are always so expensive. You need a job. You need a job to get snacks at the movies. That's how expensive it is. Like, hold on, I'm gonna put up a GoFundMe before I go to this movie, just so I can make sure I can get a pop and popcorn. Oh yeah, I used to love Susan the Dollar movie, the $2 movie. And sometimes it's a movie, yeah, you saw it. Maybe it's old, maybe it's out, at Blockbuster, but it's just something about being in the movies. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. When I was young, another thing I liked about the drive-in when I was young was you got to see 2 movies. And I thought, oh my goodness, 2 movies. The first movie I ever saw at the drive-in was Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby. I can't remember what was playing with it. The other one must have been a movie that as a kid I probably thought, oh, that's for the adult. What movie was it? Oh, sorry guys, my eyes keep. What movie was that? But Ghost Dad, yeah, that's the first movie I saw at the drive-in. So I always remember that. When I think of that movie, when I even think about Bill Cosby, sorry guys, that light was really bothering my eyes. When I think about Bill Cosby and like my movies or, of course, the Cosby Show and stuff, I'm always gonna make a Ghost Dad. Always. And that trip to the drive-in. But my favorite movies when I was young to go see, honestly, were like I remember Batman. I love Batman. I loved Batman. Going to see Batman movies when I was young. Good movies when I was young that I went to see. I'm sorry, that light is really. And the thing is, it made me my eye feel like something's in it, and I know it's not even when I look at it. But that's what it makes it feel like something's in it. But nothing's in it. Sometimes I have to check because I wish I had long eyelashes like my oldest son. Hey, Queen of O'Hara. But sometimes my eyelashes are like in my eye, but they're not off. Like they came off my eye. They're just on this. So every time I close my eyes, if I blink, I can feel it as soon as my eyes go down. But yeah, movies. We were talking about movie theaters and the drive-in. So drive-ins remind me of a happy place. I love going skating. That's and I think I really this summer want to take advantage of like going downtown off the lake and using the track, like putting on my skates and skating around down there. It's safe. It's not like I'm skating right up against the water, with no boundaries. But yeah, I want to definitely do that. I want to go skating because skating outside, especially at my age, your body isn't as good on the bounce back with the fall. So, I fall on my bottom today and my bottom's going to hurt for the rest of my life. That's just what it is. The bounce back is not the same for falling anymore. But I do love skating. So really, I prefer to go skating at a skating rink. It's more controlled. The thing I'm skating on stays one way. On concrete, it changes. Some is bumpy, it's uneven, it's Oh, you all have a drive-in? Now, my sister was telling me that I think we have one in like Naperville or something. There used to be one right on Cicero Avenue, and that was one of my favorites. And when I was living south, it was one in that wasn't in Riverdale. Trying to think of what part that's called. But yeah, there was definitely one in the hundreds. Oh, the grill. This is that perfect time, like from now, it depends on what April feels like. But from April to September, October, if it goes right weather-wise, nothing but grilling. I mean, you could grill just about every day. Keep charcoal because I just want to turn that grill on for everything. I love a good grilled hot dog. I love grilled hot dogs. I know that sounds simple, and some people don't eat hot dogs. Like I said, a beef hot dog is my favorite hot dog. But I'd be a lie if I told you I didn't do Don Skamaya hot dogs sometimes. But I love hot dogs off the grill. I love any kind of shish kebab. You can give me an all vegetable one. You can give me one with shrimp. You can give me one with chicken. You can give me one with beef. I love shish kebabs. I just love the whole grill. Drinking a beer and laughing, bonfires. I love the whole. I just love barbecues. Love get together. I love doing it alone at home, just the people who live in your house, and we're just throwing the grill on and sitting in the back and hanging out. I love that about summer. I do not love the mosquitoes. Keep every last one of them. But I just love that feeling. I love that time of year to come. I love that night air. How well it feels. Oh, happy times. And even when we had to be at home so much, during the pandemic, to me, it helped me remember being still and enjoying home. Because, you get to this point where you're always gone, you're always on the go. Even when you're doing something to have fun, it's like it's somewhere else. I went to someone's house, I went for this event, we went to play miniature golf here, we left. But during the pandemic, it was like going back to home fun. People did their garages. People got back into, time to do some gardening outside. People started getting their yards together and making them like these paradises to be in. So that's one of the good things that to me came out of the pandemic was people enjoyed home more. People made TV rooms and game rooms and, you learn to enjoy just home more. You got every cooking utensil that you told yourself it was too expensive to buy before you went and got them. Because now you were home more and you were trying new things. You were trying something out. Like right now, I want a juicer so bad. That's my next thing. As soon as I get a place, I'm getting me one. I want it so bad. Oh, Queen of O'Hare, it sounds like out here. Yesterday was cold. It was cool. It was like October. It was cold for here. I think yesterday would have been fine somewhere else that's cold all the time, but it was cold for here. Oh, speaking of Easter dinner, what's everybody making? Like, what's your Easter dinner? What do you make as an Easter dinner? What's your tradition for Easter dinner? Sorry, that like completely messed my up, but I'm not gonna let it make me give up. Oh, and it's so funny because as soon as my eye gets irritated, it turns so red. But I'm just glad it didn't make both of my eyes feel bad, but it really bothered this eye. But yeah, what's your Easter dinner? Like, what do you make as a traditional Easter dinner? Because I honestly, like, if we were getting together, I haven't really done Easter dinner, to be honest with you guys, in a long time. Now, when the kids were still young and we all got up with my mom and, we went to church and we had dinner together and the kids got all dressed up and everybody got dressed up. It's been a while since the kids were young and we did that. So Easter, then I would do I'd make something for an Easter dinner, but we didn't, have the same schedule. We didn't go to church every Easter Sunday or whatever as a family. We didn't do that, but we still had the dinner or made the dinner. Because once you get to teenagers and stuff, things always change. And yes, you can force anything on anyone. Well, except for adults, but any child. But when you do that, then they don't get to enjoy it. So even if it's something good in there for them or something that, they need it out of it, they can't get it because they want to rebel against the force you're making them do it. You never want to do that. You definitely want to plant the seed of something higher and something better in your children when they're very young. And then you just feed the seed. And it's not just feeding in what you say or what you take them to a building and someone says, it's what they see. That's really going to be the true test of it for them, period. And so, yeah, once the kids get to that age where you feel like you're pulling them to church, it's like, okay, wait a minute. We have to slow this down and find a new method. We have to find a new method for that because that one's not working. So I haven't done Easter as the family. I saw going to church and wow. But I'm sure, if we all got together on that day, we'd probably do it. But that'd be getting the grown kids, the grandkids now, all of them together. And it's because everyone's living in so many different states or areas, we'd have to make sure, make that a plan. Ooh, you throw down chicken. Oh, you have a good big one. Oh, yeah, I love it. And that's the good thing. Now, that was the good thing. Because Easter dinners were their next coming to Thanksgiving. So it held you over. It held you over because Easter dinners were always a big deal. It was a big deal. Good desserts, good meals, yeah. Leftovers, it was a good thing. It was like a mini Thanksgiving, but kind of just like it. But the leftovers don't last as long. Say no skating for you, huh, Susan? Yeah, fresh green beans, rolls. Yeah, see, that's it's always a good dinner. Now, do you all have a lot of people over for the holiday too? Or is it just the family there? Do you have a lot of family come in for Easter? Because the more people, then yes, the bigger. But then if it's on a smaller scale, if it's just a few of us and it's on a smaller scale, you make it just a smaller version. Mm. When you cut a fresh pineapple, there are these parts that are kind of hard, but the juice around them. Oh, I love fresh pineapple. Okay, you didn't do the holidays. Okay. I noticed everybody was a little chillax for Christmas and stuff this year. I definitely was. Okay. So yeah, everybody still kind of gets together. That's always good. I love the holidays. Sorry, guys. Throw that in. I love the holidays that bring family together. It's sad sometimes. Sometimes in family, you only get together in misery, like a sad thing, a funeral or something of that occasion. Hey, bossy. Happy Sunday. Talking about Easter dinners. What you doing on Sunday? Fun stuff. The weather. Seems like everybody's getting some nice weather today. All that rain was, it's like it went from rain to cool to now it's nice. So you feel like you're in all these different seasons, and it messed with my sinuses so bad. So bad it messes with my sinuses. But yeah, the holidays this year seem, once again, it's like everything is post post the pandemic. And so during it, we were so iced from each other. I remember that first year when you couldn't have, what was it, more than 10? Well, each state was different. Like you couldn't have more than 10 people in your home for the holidays. But the first year, I don't even think we could do that. I think the next year was when they were like, okay, it's 10 people. So that was that first year where you didn't do any kind of the family got together for the holidays. So it was like, I remember my mom got her master's. And it was such the social distancing, and you couldn't have people come by, that my mom had to just come by and people like take pictures of her in her cap and gown and then drive off. And a lot of people did that with graduations. You had to have like a graduation line where they just drove past and celebrated or came past the graduate's house to show love because we couldn't get up. And to me, it just made me realize like not having people. Like them not being there, because they were there in the world, but it was the first time where you were almost forced to just change things. And then when we thought it was safe to go back to everything we knew, we rushed a little bit too much. And so it's just good. It seems like we're finally getting back to our new norm, because it will never be the same. And the way that hit us is like, there's no way to completely go back to the carelessness that we really did, most of us. And some people even still do it during it. We're having big parties and big get-togethers and yeah. Oh yeah, it went nowhere. It went nowhere. Yeah, that's it. And that's how things change. And here's the thing, just like the truth of the matter hasn't went anywhere, before they were talking about it, it was here. You got to know that too. Before we were hearing about it publicly like that and it was everywhere, it was here. Just like even when you're not talking about it as much, it's still there, it still affects. You're still learning new things, It's still a lot. It's still a lot. But one thing is we are built on is being survivors, becoming stronger, becoming immune. We're one big immune system. We learn to become immune and do better. That's what I said. You learn, because there's illnesses that we don't talk about that are walking around still being passed around and everything else, and it's because of people not using the things they've learned about it to protect themselves. And shoot, people are carrying stuff besides COVID. And I'm talking about things that they can pass on to you through germs. Not the germs, through saliva and all other kind of stuff. But it was just a reminder to me to be more aware, to think about everybody else too, while protecting yourself. I remember when I was young, I remember getting chicken pox, and I had them bad. Like I had them in my mouth. I had a bad case of the chicken pox, a bad case. I thought for some odd reason, like no one was getting chicken pox anymore. Until like 2 years ago, I know somebody who got it. I said, the chicken pox still exists? But I remember how bad I had them. I had them on the soles of my feet. Like, oh, I had the chicken pox bad. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. What was it? One of the speech writers, his speech writers or something. I know it was close. I mean, that's when you know something. It's gonna go everywhere. No one's immune from it. That's the thing we gotta know. No one is. And it'll just keep breaking down. So it'll go from as terrible as it was, and it'll keep breaking down, breaking down, breaking down. And then one day you'll look up and it'll just have the medication over the counter. But yeah, I just can't wait till we can get to that point of it so that it can stop further dividing us. Every time I turn, it's something. It's something. Say, did you get it or didn't you? Did you say, oh God, just we here go another fight we gonna fight? What up, day to day? What up, bro? Mm-hmm. And see, that's how most people are. And then you have a lot of these concert stuff. You can't even go into one without a vaccination. But honestly, guys, I just stopped being over big groups. I don't like being crowded in nothing. I don't want to be that close to people. I'll never forget a couple of years ago, my friend took me to like a silent listening party or whatever. So you have on earphones, and it was 3 different DJs, and so you end up you could switch to each DJ to listen to what they were playing and see who was jamming. And the DJ, how they could tell which DJ was jamming by how many people continuously kept going to their color. And it was a nice concept, a nice thing, but it was packed. So you got people dancing and moving all around, and they're like bumping into people. You got to be in a corner, and I got to put myself whenever I feel I have to put myself like in a wall, up against a wall, so there's no way to come from behind me. So anything that happens from here, and I'm eyeing the exits, I don't feel comfortable, because then I start worrying about the worst things that could happen. So already I have a issue with being in crowds, like, and then the bigger the crowd, like, go to a 50,000 people concert. Oh, you must be crazy. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I'm already, that's a lot on my anxiety. Just the thought of being around that many people. I don't do like the Taste Chicago. I don't do that anymore. It has to be controlled. Hey, G5. It has to be not even controlled. Just so many people. And no. No, so any kind of party, club. And one of my biggest fears at a club happened when we had the E2 incident in Chicago, years back. It reminded me of the biggest fear of everybody trying to get out and being no. So I don't even like crowd. Oh, no. Even thinking about it, I'll change like my mood of how I'm feeling. Like, no. Hey, crazy cat mama. Yeah, like very small events. I do. And everybody, especially like I said, after going down where we couldn't get together, now everybody wants to do it super big again. So now it's like, I'm just having a barbecue. It's about 150 people. Everybody, why? Why? Because I've missed having everybody. But doesn't mean I don't love you. I just don't want to be in crowds at all like that. I don't. Keep it small. Keep it, a few. It's 20 of us. You know what I mean? And we're doing something, but no. No. And like I said, it has nothing to do with the pandemic. Like nothing. Not just like I said, I just got to points where I'm like, I don't like crowds like that. I don't. Whenever I'm in those situations, I'm always like, where's the exit? Where's the bathroom so we can go? So then when you have these kind of situations in the world, I'm just like, oh, see what I mean? Nah. I don't want to be trapped up in the club and somebody who just didn't have nothing better to do with their time decided they, nah. So I don't like those kind of, it's just me. And it really doesn't mean that's what's going to happen there. It's just, that's how my mind starts working, and it makes me anxious. So I can't even enjoy myself inside of places like that because I'm literally just worried about getting out. I'm worried about any situation that could happen. And so I can't enjoy myself. So that's mainly why I don't do it. Yep. Oh, and I remember SARS. Yep. Oh, yes, always. I was glad to see you the other day. And that's when I was like, I haven't seen my crazy cat mama in a few days. So I saw you, and I think there was Heidi's trivia. And I was like, oh, there she is. But yeah. So when it comes to places like that, club, oh no, never been into that. And then the other thing about me and clubs is there's different kind of clubs. There's the clubs the youngins are at, and I let young people stay where young people stay because we don't even think the same anymore. So it's not like I'm even in your thinking bracket. When I'm in that thinking bracket, I know I don't want to be at the club because I know it's nothing but trouble. Then you can have an older club and where people aren't on that mischief or nothing. They're more like I don't know, try to pick each other up or whatever you want to call it. This one, I just don't. Clubs aren't for me. I'd prefer to go out to a casino to hang out and call that club. Because once again, there's a few people in there. There's some music maybe playing, not like we're dancing, but there's some music playing. There's some entertainment. I can have a little fun with the game. I can have a drink. There's other people to have a conversation with or have no conversation but still be social. I might do that. So whether I was going to gamble or not, I'd probably do that first. But even with a concert, I want to go to a very small, intimate concert, or I want to go if you're like at a park and it's like one of those concerts in the park that they started doing. I like those because then I can sit wherever I like and not up on people. But concerts at a stadium, thank you. I'll pass. I'll pass. And like I said, I just can't do groups of people like that. Yep, and I'm wearing a mask. Hey, sis, hey, doll. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes, Siri just jumps up out of nowhere. And you like, wait, what is she? I didn't tell her to do anything. We're talking about, hey, baby doll. That's what I said. Hey, the dog. And she jumped on. Yeah, I like the outside ones. I love that whole concept of the free concerts in the park. And you would think sometimes when they have those free concerts that it would be way more people that came. And it's not. I'm always surprised at that. I'm always surprised. I mean, a lot of people show up, but it's never as many as I would think for a free concert of great artists, Never know. When I heard that Phil Collins was actually retiring from performing, which he should, so he can just enjoy his life. He's done it. I mean, you've done it all. You've toured it all, I'm sure. But I was sad because I'm like the only time I could have ever seen Phil Collins was when he did a free concert at the Taste of Chicago, and I had strep throat and I missed it. Now I'll never be in concerts, just like with Prince. I had tickets to only time I ever had tickets to the Prince concert, and he was in Chicago, and I was in my 20s, and he was supposed to be at the Rosemont, and we got all the way to getting off at the exit at the Rosemont, and they let us know that the concert had been canceled, and we like canceled, and so it's so last minute. So when it was canceled, you could either go, or when it first got canceled, you could either go to get your money back for your tickets, or you could wait and see if it was another, when they were confirming another date, like a replacement date. And you could do that. And so instead when you change your tickets, you just put it toward the purchase of the next one. And I was so mad. And I was like, no, I just returned my ticket. And then they set up a date, and it was maybe like a month later, a month and a half later, because what had happened was his drummer's child had died. And that's very sad. So that's why they canceled, and that's why it was so sudden. And I remember being so mad. Like, I can't believe I was the first time gonna ever see Prince, one of the greatest of my lifetime, and be in the same room with him, which is good enough for me. And I was so excited, and then the concert got canceled, and I was so mad. And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to catch him next time because you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about ordering the tickets." And there would never be a next time because even though it would be years later when he passed, there would never be a next time that I went to see Prince. I'm like, no. Now Phil's retiring. That means I'll never see you. Michael passed. I'll never see you. But I've never been close to Michael Jackson tickets either. I've never had any. I've never went went and tried to get any. No one's ever offered me any. I didn't call a radio station ever to try to win them. Mike, now that's different. Hey, Sassy. Michael Jackson, that's a whole nother entity. But yeah, and I've always wanted to see Lionel. I always wanted to see Lionel. And then Prince had the whole Vegas thing, and that was my whole thing. I used to tell my buddies, well, I definitely will just go check out Prince in Vegas. Never happened. Vegas has a lot of acts and things that I want to see. Like I've never been to Vegas. I definitely had to go out there and check them out. Because now that the kids are grown, I finally say I get to be grown. I get to live like the grown up I didn't get to live. You know, because even when you think, oh, I don't need a babysitter for my kids, when they're teenagers, you really don't want to leave town. You really don't want to leave town when they're teenagers and leave them by themselves. You know, so you lose a lot of like, some parents still can and do travel. But most of us, if you're not traveling, is all in one, which becomes even more expensive. You're not doing a lot of traveling. You might make a trip. Oh, we're gonna all do this Disney vacation, and we're gonna do that. Then our next big vacation might be years from that. You know. Ooh, I gotta read this. Uh, Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park was big. Lincoln Park was big. Yep, you'll always regret it. Another time, you guys, that I regret doing. So one day I called GCI, and I forget what the question was, but I answered the question correctly, and I won tickets to this Bad Boy concert, and they had like a Biggie. They were at the Regal Theater. That's where they're gonna be at, and so just had like Bad Boy artists on there, and I won a ticket to the classic games. It was Mississippi. It was Jackson State versus what they call like the Bayou Classic, but that was at Soldier Field. Those tickets, so they like were together, and I won them both. And I'm like, I'm not really into football, when I really should have just went to the game because it was a classic. You know what I mean? It was something big, and I didn't even understand like those were all black colleges. You know, none of it. I just didn't like football. So I was like, oh, gave those tickets away, got rid of those tickets. And then the Biggie tickets, I forget what happened because I love Biggie. I forget what happened. But I really believe it was more like I didn't care. I'd rather get these Jordans, and I got rid of the tickets. And then once again, I would never, when I went to the next Bad Boy concert, Biggie wouldn't even be alive. He wouldn't even be alive, and I'd be at the Bad Boy concert. Like, yes. So, but I really didn't like concerts because I didn't use, when I was young, I didn't like live versions of songs. Like, I just didn't care for them as much as I did like the song, you know, but I didn't care for live music. And I feel like the song changed, or they changed some words, or they took this out. So I didn't really care for it. But now it's a whole different experience. Is a whole different experience. It's enjoying the backup singers on the stage. It's really listening to the instruments and looking and seeing the instruments that are played, or how powerful this keyboard is. Just, I don't know. Live concerts are different, but I just prefer them at either like in the park where you can sit wherever you like, or a small intimate venue where the performance is. Are you back boxing? You fall asleep at concerts? Yeah, it's a whole different thing. And I don't care if I go see a rapper. A live concert is a whole different thing. And everyone isn't a great performer or a great, I don't know, just everybody doesn't have that. Oh, wow. I can always like inside. Once I'm inside and I know where I'm at and I feel safe, I can sleep through mostly any noise or sleep enough where I can wake up to it, or but still not let it wake me all the way up. But if I'm outside, I can never really sleep. I can't go to sleep, so I know I couldn't fall asleep in a lot of noise because then I'd be too worried that now I can't even see because I can't hear everything as it is because it's so loud around me. But now if I close my eyes, I can't see. Oh wow! Open for Bon Jovi. That's big. Bon Jovi is so good to Minnesota, isn't he? Wait, not Minnesota. That's not where he's at. Where did he have a? Because Bon Jovi had a football team, didn't he? Oh, I'm sure Alicia Keys does. She's so talented. Thinking of the talent that lives inside of Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys musically, like the talent that they have musically in between them. If you ever doubted it or didn't know or couldn't think of what it was, I just look at their son. He is like them. He's a combined the music. He is the music of them. He is the energy of music. He is the body of music. The sounds that that child can hear. Like he definitely what we will know as and we'll be talking about in 10 years or so. Even though he's doing great things now, of a musical genius. A musical genius. That young man is very musically inclined. Like wow, and has been for years. Michael Bolton had that song. I said I loved you, but I lied. He talking about his daughters. I love that song. This is more than love I feel. Hey, so I be love. Oh, a lot of y'all seen Alicia Keys. Yes, that man, his piano skills, his ear to it, his I mean, he's producing. That young man there. What I don't know, I know he can. I believe he can read it. I don't know if he can write music, but yeah, that young man, a musical. He's gonna be one of those people who are like, what is the guy's name who started when he was like 17? Spec. What was it? What was his name? But he literally got in it young in that music, and you'll change things, and you'll realize later, like, wait, he produced that? He got Grammys on him? That boy, you're gonna be like, wow, I had no idea. Yeah, he's very talented. Wait, what? He reads in right. See, I didn't know. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure the Temptations put on a show. I'm sure. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. When I first saw the Five Heartbeats, I thought the Five Heartbeats was based on the Temptations, right? Then we had the whole Temptations movie. I'm like, no, the Temptations got their own movie. The Temptations movie is very good too, but their story is just so sad, you know, in awe when you think about it. David Ruffin, everything. Just sad, but it's a great story. I love the Temptations. Ooh, the Commodores. That mean my baby coming? Wait, does that mean Lionel gonna be there? I love me some Lionel now. I love me some Lionel. You had to. When I saw it, I said, "Well, hopefully, because like I said, like, when you're in a, that's one thing about when you're in a safe place, you can answer the question. You know, and not to let it go somewhere else. It's just that I either get an answer or I don't, and I respect that. Nobody was in here. Hey, bi, why you acting like a? So at least we were doing that. That's respect. That's one thing. Like I tell you, at the end of the night, we can moderate ourselves. That's the power of control. I was still looking at these concerts and I saw that the Commodores was coming. And I said, wait a minute. And I got excited. Kool and the Gang. What is that song? Cherish. Cherish will always be one of the most beautiful lyrical songs to me as a child. Because even when I was young, I realized those words were powerful. But when I got older, and I said, wait, did he say if I wake up in the way? What does he say? If you should get your call and before I awake, will I make it through the night? Say, this is beautiful. Cherish the love we had. That's a classic. That's a classic. That's a classic. Oh, that's a classic. Oh, that is a classic. Hey, Selfie Queen. Hey, sis. Talking about concerts we've been to or want to go to. Hey, Marianne. Hey, sis. Oh, yeah. Music. I'm telling you. Me and my sister were talking about how when you think of Beverly Hills Cop, each movie has a song that like just reminds you of the movie, or you hear it and you want to watch the movie. So I know one of them is that the one in Beverly Hills Cop 1 that keeps playing to it. Oh, what's the name of it? But each one has a movie. But right now, the one that's sticking in my head, because we were talking about them earlier, and she named them. Told me she's always good with naming the artist, the album, the. Sometimes I'm like, no, I don't know that song. Then I come on, I'm singing every word. And they say, you said you didn't know it. I say, oh, I'm not that good at titles and that. Sometimes I have to look at the album when someone names it and be like, oh, okay, that's who that is. Didn't know. Or with Pandora, when the song is on, I happen to I love that song. Let me look and see who that is. And that's how I'll know. Oh, all these years I never knew song that song. But on the third, when it's Shy, The Place Where You Belong, for Beverly Hills Cop 3, it's just like some of your favorite movies, there's gonna be a song that just like attach you to that movie, makes you think about that movie. Music. The power of music. Oh yeah, those are classic. It's like, how can I not listen to SWV, Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, and not think of high school for me? Like, it's gonna remind me of those years. Um, Having crushes. Hey, Roddy girl. Hey, sis. In here talking music and movies and concerts that we've been to, or you wish you went to, or like my concert for Prince, it can never happen. Or Phil Collins since he's retiring. Ugh. Still got Lionel. Still got Lionel. But Lionel seems like he's doing everything but concert. And then sometimes you have to remember that these people are aging. So some of you like, oh, I just still want to see Ryan Oz. It's like, would you let this man just go home and live his life? I still want to see Oz. He said, let these people go home and chill out. We don't care, because when you're a fan, they supposed to perform today, not here no more. Yeah, Lionel is Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it just reminds me of a different era, coming to age, a so-called falling in love, my first car I used to drive or have, it takes me to those places when I think of that era of music. And then there's some of the 80s reminds me of childhood. It really does. A lot of 80s music reminds me of that. The 60s and the 70s remind me of the eras before me that I feel like I'm a part of, and I'm not. I feel like but I'm really not. But just like if I hear any music from the 2000s, it reminds me of my little cousins that I call my little brothers in their era. It really does. And my kid having children, and so it reminds me of that era. But yeah, when I was telling you all earlier about my friend taking me to the silent listening party with the headphones, that would be a nice concept if you wanted to get a couple of you and your friends together and just have one DJ. I don't need 3 DJs. That means I'm inviting more people. But have a small thing where we all got together and that DJ played it and we could hear it from in there. Because then you could always just, when you want to talk, take the earphones off, or you know what I mean? And enjoy each other, but also have the music playing. But going and being with so many people, that was a lot. So it was a great experience. It was something different. I love music, so it was even, a better thing with music. But I would like to see if you could try to have one of your own, like have your own private one at your house, have a DJ come and everything. Because it was a nice thing. I really did like it. Just that's how I got talking about. Just I'm not a concert club kind of person. I'm definitely not a club person. And then, like I said, there's so many different types of music out there. So I keep, like I said, I'm always on the music ground. Sometimes I'll talk about an artist, and if I don't know them, I'll listen, and I've learned either two things. That, wow, I can't believe, I'll either hear something and finally hear a song, but I've heard this before. I knew this, I just didn't know who it was. Or I'll hear them and think to myself, I never knew who they were. I wonder, I never heard of them. And then what I'll notice is later I'll start noticing songs like, wait a minute, now I'm seeing like I hear them in different places because I know who they are. Because now I know who they are. Yeah, I do. I love all. It depends on just really what I want to listen to. That's gonna count. And sometimes I really amaze myself because I put my Pandora completely on just like thumbs up, and it goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. Sometimes I'm in African drum. Sometimes I'm in a whole Spanish radio. I mean, it goes everywhere. It grows everywhere, and it always makes me feel better about my music year, better about my music love. It really does. It really does. Because to be sleep on so many different kind of music made me like, wait, this is what I love. Like I really truly believe that if I couldn't talk anymore, there is a song from somewhere that could speak what I was thinking. Hey Nana. But yeah, I truly believe that. So for me, music is a life. Music is a lifestyle. Music is love. Music is a lesson. Music is powerful to me. It's just so powerful to me. I told you it's so powerful that sometimes I know when I'm really in a dark place because I don't want to listen to music at all because I'm afraid of what feelings it might bring up. Good, bad, or indifferent. Like I don't want anything it's going to bring up. And that's the scary part. You've been happy, you sit in the car, listen to your radio, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then a song might come on that take you to a sad, but sometimes you're quick to turn. I gotta get this off. I gotta get this off before I even hear one lyric to it. I can't take it right now. I can't hear that song right now. It's gonna take me somewhere right now. Then sometimes you hear some music and say, oh Lord, it's reminding me that guy thought I was open to this song. Okay. Who would I like to see in concert? I would love to see Lionel Richie in concert. I really would. I love to see Lionel Richie in concert. Honestly, when I think about like artists, I would love to see Jill Scott in concert. I really would. I really like Jill Scott. And I like Jill Scott not like on, I couldn't tell you like her new music. I just like her aura, her energy. And so I just feel like it'd be a whole different thing to see her in person. Um, I would like that. And I believe she would do a small intimate concert. Because you had to be so worried. Because like if you like, oh, I would love to go. Because like I said, some of these people are like great performers. I think yesterday I forget what I was watching, but they brought up Britney. I was in trivia on Heidi's when they brought up Britney Spears. That's one thing about her. I'm like, well, one, you were part of that Mickey Mouse Club, but I could see her being a great performer. You know, I know they say Beyonce puts on a great show. Janet Jackson put on a great show. These are great performers. Alicia Keys is going to put on a great show. And so I think these days, if I went to a concert, I would more so want to just go for a great performance. Just for that, just to walk away and be like, that performance was just, that's what I really want to go to a concert and see these days. So it wouldn't so much be like, before to me, you go to a concert to see the people that you just absolutely crazy about. When I was a kid, and people got like stampeded at a Michael Jackson concert, I thought like, I bet to them that was the best way to go, because there's no way possible that was the best way for them to go. But I thought it's just that love of being in the room with what you grew up to, what you believe in, what you love so much. But trust me, I don't want to go like that. But I just thought like, I can understand why people are going crazy. They just losing their mind to touch him, to get that close to him. So when I was young, you really went to concerts about who you were just in love with. That's what I thought about for a concert. But now I would go for the performance. So really, it wouldn't even be a concert, Crazy Cat Mama, that I'm dying to go to now, like a big concert. It would probably be people's Vegas shows. Like say Cher was still doing a Vegas show, which is, I don't know if she is, but if she was, I'd definitely go see that. I'd be going for like these performances of greatness. I would go to shows like that. Because I want to go to the Circus Olay, and that's not a concert, but I really want to do that in Vegas. That's why I'm like, I know when I go to Vegas, I'm going to have to go several times because I want to do so many things. I want to do so many things that I know it's no way I'm going to do it in one trip. But I got to go that first time just to pop the cherry on it. Hey, Lala. Hey, sis. Okay, let me see what we're saying there now. Oh yeah, that's what I said. Oh, Lionel, yeah, I definitely. I just love him, and I know my brother always says to me like, Lionel Richie is so sad. I just don't look at him like I love Lionel Richie. Like, I love him. Maxwell, I'm sure that's a sexy concert. Maxwell just like to me, he reminds me of somebody who just seems like not only does he love himself and know himself, like he just loves the woman's body. So when I hear him singing, he's very central to me. I could feel him through his music. That might sound weird, but yeah, I know Jill is the neo soul. That's what I'm saying. It's just their energy. So what was it? Because I loved all of them. Her, India Irie, Music Soul Child. What was the couple's name? I just love that whole little group, that whole energy, their whole vibe, their whole music. I liked it. So I just feel like one of their concerts would all be good. Oh, my mom loves smoking. Yeah, my mama loves Smokey. Like, love her some Smokey. She used to always make the joke that that was her husband. Because he was Smokey Robinson. I told you, Miranda Lambert, I got put up on her a couple of years ago by one of my buddies, and I fell in love with her instantly. The first song I ever heard by her was that was it not my mama's blues or not my mama's, oh, I love her though. She's definitely a good one. That new country is real good. I can't even deny it. Some people will say no, it's not, but you know, country music is good. There's lots of story behind it, lots of pain, lots of reality, lots of things that are really going on. So, and country music gives back so much to the community, to their places. I like country music in the whole, but that new country is good. And to me, Miranda is kind of that new country. Thanks, Lala. Yes. How is your day going? What are you doing today? Crazy Cat Mama, what was your favorite concert that you ever went to? Or is there one you still wish you could have went to, but you never went to? Hey, Tina. Oh, yeah, Lionel. You saw him 4 times? Oh, Tina, how blessed. How blessed. Oh, wow. G5, I know what G5. I'm telling you, I want to go so bad to that circus. And then, like I told you all, I got to a point where, to me, I remember taking my kids to the circus at the United Center, and it was I think that's Bailey and Barnum and Bailey Circus. I took them there. I took them there at the United Center, and they were young. And there were people outside over around where the animals, were out in the parking lot part where they have, because you just got to have a place for them to be. So they're kind of like outside, but where they can still go in. So, you can have them do what they do. There were people outside like protesting. And my kids were asking, like, why were the people mad? And I said, oh, they just, it's always people to protect the animals. And I just left it there with them. But I really remember being in the circus and realizing how even when the elephants were walking around, there was someone swinging a whip. And, even though that's not what you're paying attention to, I realized that when the tiger came out, when the lions came out, and I saw a different thing. And I thought about these animals being for our entertainment. And so I started looking at the circus different. And then I wanted to be, of course, with the black circus, I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and watch it. But the thing was still the same to me about the animals. So once I learned of the Circus Soleil and that they were doing with all people, I really was intrigued. So I've always wanted to see it. And definitely, and these days, I think I would really appreciate it even more. Seeing it now as a real adult. Who parted ways? Let me see. So Ivy. Oh yeah. No, they're not. Oh yeah, like I said, Miranda. I definitely give it to her. She definitely speaking to the hearts of many women when she talking, so we could definitely relate and understand. It's the great thing about music. When there's an understanding, a feeling, a memory, a movement, whatever that came from that music, it can touch us all. And it will unite us all. And we'll all have a story behind that, a different story, but a story behind that music. It's such a movement. Oh, Teddy. And then, you know how I always wish I could have been in the era of going to concerts when people just got so excited they were throwing panties at the person. I have to let him know that he could have me. Like, I just wish I could have been to one of those concerts just to see it. Because, that goes on with any of them. Rock and roll, those are the kings of getting it right there. Please. Nobody gets it like a rock star. Lala, I used to say the same thing. Now for me, I used to say like country is just too doggone depressing. Like I'm listening to some of these words, I'm ready to jump. And I really thought of it only like that. But when I watched that show, Gone Country, and they really explain like country music and where it comes from and the heart of it and what they do and how much, how many of them are involved with St. Jude's and things like that because they on the give back too. And I just thought, wow, country music is a movement, and I got myself deeper in it. So it wasn't just I like Shania Twain. You know what I mean? Because I love Shania. I loved back in the day Shania Twain. I can't even lie. I love it. But yeah, so like I said, so then when I'm introduced, but like I said, this newer country is even more, it's letting you in. It's really letting you in. And it doesn't feel like this music only belongs here. So like I said, I really have grown on the country music. I really have. So but I do truly understand, because once upon a time I go, no. To the point that if I liked an artist and someone said, well, you do know they consider country or light country or whatever, I say, oh, no, they're not. I don't look at them like that. I don't look at them like that. What was the one that was on American Idol? I had a few. Because Taylor Swift was never considered country. Wasn't Taylor Swift considered country? Who was that on American? Was it Taylor Swift? I really gotta look at this. Disrespect Highway. Something must be going on, baby doll. I'm not seeing. Let me see. Are we talking about Tina Marie? Oh, wait. I just back to my channel. Did you say something about Tina Marie? Not Tina. Baby doll. Now, if you say something about Tina Marie, you are disrespecting the channel. People know they love them some Tina Marie. No, just breathe, baby doll. It's okay. And you know what? I was talking to my sister earlier, and I was saying I've learned one thing about life, that sometimes even if I go to talk about something with somebody and it fuels anything in me, I'm not ready for that conversation, period. So I just got to know when I'm ready, that's when if I want a conversation. If not, if I don't, then I don't want nothing. You know what I mean? Some say all or nothing. That's just how I feel. That's okay. Just breathe. Something I learned? Speaking for myself, most of us don't even really know how to breathe. In everything we've learned how to do, we don't even know how to correctly even breathe. And you'll go to like a yoga class or something and then you'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, wait. I thought I knew how to breathe because I'm breathing, right? I'm breathing, right? Or you'll do your breathing on your phone will say, let's breathe. And you'll realize, wait a minute. I ain't even breathing right. It's okay. It's okay. Get Tina Marie to bomb. That's why I said, wait a minute. It's good. You're good. You're good. Like I said, one thing, hey, for all of us, any of us, one thing about hurt, you bring it up, it brings back the hurt. You think about it, sometimes you see it. It's just like if I was walking down the street and I seen somebody who called something to me. I might not even been thinking about them today, but when I saw them, it reminded me of everything. And that's human. That's human nature. But I just gotta grab in anything that I can't get out of you. I gotta grab in me what I can get out of me out of that. That's it. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. But it's okay. We good. We good. Hey, Jill's comfort zone. Always cooking up a storm. But yeah, hey Deborah, I didn't see you come in. Hey. Oh, we went to a Sly and Family Stone concert and Led Zeppelin. Wow. I remember when I was young, we went to see Criss Cross. And first of all, here's what's funny. Criss Cross was so late for the concert that they came out and did one song and left. And I thought, what? And I remember all these people were just like so happy that they even came into the building and were just like, oh my goodness, Daddy Mac looks so good. Oh my goodness, it was this. And I remember honestly, I'm young. I honestly like, this is some bullshit. Like, I've been waiting all month to get to this day. You know what I mean? I've been so excited. You felt like you couldn't wear the right thing, or like they won't notice you or something. Like you were so excited. And I just sat here and heard them do one song. I listened to more of their record on the way here in the car. So even when you go to concerts and you get a little older, like I told y'all, when I went to the Bad Boy concert, I remember everybody, 112, everybody there was disrespecting women. I said, wait a minute. Wait, when 112 get up? And I can't stand to go to a concert and you singing everybody's song but yours. I'm like, I'm going to need you to sing. But then I started learning and understanding different things with music too. So you could have fell out with who did that, I don't know, and they won't let you perform their song. And you're like, this is the weirdest stuff. One song. They did, and I can tell you what song it was. I always remember at the end they say, you can get the finger. What finger? The middle. And I said, wait, then they gonna salute us with the finger on their way out? Warm it up, Chris. Yes, they did. I'm about to warm it up, Chris. That's what I was born to do. I said, you didn't warm up, Chris. You just gave me one song. Like, what you doing? But some of the best like performances I've ever been to in my life. Don't tell my sister and mother I said this because they're gonna be like, "Danny, we've been telling you this your whole life." Our plays I've been to. I went to see The Wizard of Oz when I was young in a play, and Stephanie Mills played in there. She played the role Diana Ross plays, and she played Dorothy. And she sung No Place Like Home, and I lost my mind. To this day, I don't want to hear that song unless Stephanie's singing it, okay? I went and seen The Color Purple and play. Oh, Michelle acted her butt off. Michelle from Destiny Child. Mm-hmm. So usually I don't like plays because I don't like musicals. I don't like the whole. I mean, since we were kids, my sister loved Supercalifragilistic. Oh my God, they just break out in song because you watching a play or a musical, and they'll be like, "So Danny, we're gonna go on and go to the store." Dun-dun-dun-dun. And then we break it down to song. No, please just tell me the plot and let the music play in the background. But if y'all go on to break it into song, but that's learning to love the theater. And I really respect the theater. So like my sister has went to see the Lion Kings and she's seen not the Blues Brothers, and it's not that blue. It's the guys, they're Jersey Boys. Like she's been to all of those. Yeah, any of those. She's super into the theater. Small ones, big Broadway ones. She's super into that. And I'm always like, they're gonna bust out into song. So there's some that we have went, me and my mom and my sister have went to see over the years together. But usually I'm kind of the one like, oh wait, you guys got the tickets? I'll meet you for dinner afterwards. But now I'm like, who passes up the Lion King? Who does that? Who does that? See how when you're in your pain, you'll hurt yourself. You'll miss out on some things that later, like, why didn't I go? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually which one was that we seen? Is that You Could Do Bad by Yourself? Forget which one we went. We had tickets for to go see. And once again, I was literally on some, I don't want to go. I'm not into the plays. And my mom, my sister went. It's the one that when his mother passed, and he ended up adding for the play before the movie, way before the movie came out. But he had added to the play a whole extra scene where they had this funeral scene because his mother passed. And I remember telling my sister and mother, like, oh, you're so glad I didn't go to that one. I don't like funerals I have to go to. I definitely don't want to add one to the theater. But I became a Tyler Perry fan, Oh, please, when nobody was checking for Tyler Perry. And I wouldn't lie and tell you any different. It came off of bootlegs. Like my auntie always would have them. And she'd say, oh, you should watch these. These are funny. And at first I'd be like, wait, are they about to bust into song? Not this busted into song stuff. But I couldn't help but watch. And I'm not gonna lie, the first few times I watch, they get ready to start singing. So I hear they be dun, 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 dun. I said, oh, fast forward. I'm fast forwarding through until they stop singing. So as soon as they stop moving fast, okay, they still singing. I'm gonna fast forward and I'm gonna stop and watch the play. And then it got to a point where I liked the play so much, the singing just didn't even bother me anymore. I'd be like, okay, that song. And what I realized is when they're singing is part of the story. So, so you do need to listen to the music. But I always liked opera. Never been to one, but I always liked the whole concept that they're telling me the whole story through song. And that I really have to listen. Oh, the original New Edition. Oh, they were great performers. New Kids on the Block. When I tell you, I remember we love New Kids on the Block, but I remember my sister getting a big old button. You know, the big old buttons with New Kids on the Block. And I said, oh man, they are my white New Edition. I'm to this day, I'm still in love with Donnie Wahlberg and everything Wahlberg. Everything Wahlberg. When Jenny McCarthy me, I said, girl, you going to get you a good man. Them Wahlbergs good. I love them Wahlbergs. God bless their mama. I still love Donnie Wahlberg to this day. Now, what we all remember is when we saw the rest of them, we were like, man, they kind of were messed up from fact. And not even in a funny way, because I mean, I seen on some real life how Jonathan was messed up. Then we saw when they tried to do, what was that show VH1 had? And they went to try to reach out to Danny, and he was just about iced away behind the gates. Don't come and say, ooh, that fame. People think it's simple, but it gets to a point where you have no privacy. You have no life but the life people want from you. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I don't think some people understand that when you become that big. When you become that big. New Kids on the Block. I remember they came to a mall. It was that Forest City Mall when I was young. And they didn't even get to come because it was stormed with so many people for them coming. I mean, blacks, white, it's so many people for them coming. They were, it's a safety hazard to even bring them through. I'm like, boy, they are turning the country out. Y'all gonna have me, let's say out. They are classic. Oh yeah, please. The Wahlbergs, I love them. And then they had a Danny in New Kids on the Block. I'm like, okay, it's me and you, Danny. And Joey. Who wouldn't be in love with Joey? He looked like a 9-year-old, like when he was 16, so it made him cuter. And oh yeah. Love them young men. What was it? Joey, Jonathan, Danny, Donnie. Because I used to know them like you knew the New Edition, you know. Ralph, well, see, now we saying these names over here. Ralph, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike. You know, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, Ronnie DeVoe, Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown, and then Johnny Gill. How could you not? How could you not? I mean, I used to know Matuto. Was that their name? Menudo. I used to know their whole names, their whole group too. And then it just became the only one we knew from it was what is his name? Oh, what is his name? Ricky Martin. Come on. They're the boy bands of my era. Just like when you think of the 90s, you have to think women, how many great girl groups and women singers we had. Just all over in every genre. Like they were running it. We were running it. I wish I knew them. No, just like I said, just knowing their names because you're so in love with New Edition. I've been in love with New Edition since I was a little kid, and I've known that Ralph Tresvant since I was a little kid. Like when I saw Mr. Telephone Man, they look like regular guys, same haircut, same dress style. They looked like guys you knew. So it wasn't like, oh my God, they got to look. You know how the women of the industry have looks that just don't compare to regular little girls. And they don't look like who every little girl can look in the mirror and see. But the guys for New Edition, please, please, please. So I just loved them. I loved them when they became BBD. I loved them when Bobby Brown went solo. I loved them when Johnny Gill came in. I loved them when Ralph Tresvant went solo. Like I just loved the guys. I loved when they came back together. And not only did they come back together, they said, hey, we're going to come back together and all get together. Even though we know that was hell on wheels. Hey, Rock Just Living, happy birthday. Yesterday was your birthday. Rock Just Living, yesterday was her birthday. Happy birthday, Queen. You said Alex Cooper was too scary for your blood? See, when I was young, I like all of them. I told you I was scared of Ozzy Osbourne. Like, I don't want to see nothing about dude. Then they came out the Osbournes. I fell in love completely with Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. The whole family, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed your live yesterday too. I was watching it today, and then I was like, "You set a timer," so I have to go back to it. Like I said, I was moving around so much watching things yesterday, and trying to give love or make sure. Definitely, I always try to say what I will do is like and comment. I would definitely like and comment and watch. You completely watch your shit. Yep, in any form, I love them. Any way you give them to me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, BBD probably was one of the best of the breakdowns of New Edition in many ways because they jam. Oh, BBD, they definitely did. And then I remember when Michael Bivins started bringing out, Boys to Men. He had that group Alexander. Who they called? Because he even did the same thing. He said, well, wait a minute. We had New Edition and we had New Kids on the Block. And that actually would have been smart to have two. But one didn't blow up. So he had the two groups. When he brought out Boys to Men, he had a group. And it was just, it was white boy stuff. Because he's a musical genius too. Very underestimated. Well, not talked about. Or maybe he is, but he's definitely one too. Him, Dallas Austin. I've been in love with Dallas Austin. Speaking of things that came out through Michael Bivins, he brought out Another Bad Creation, and Another Bad Creation's big producer was Dallas Austin. And I was so young then that I thought Dallas Austin was like part of the group. Like he was one of the boys going to sing or rap. No, he's a whole producer. Musical god. The Dallas Austin has been behind more music than you all could imagine. Songs you wouldn't even know he had touched. He's definitely a music genius. I was so surprised when him and Chili's son wasn't the same. But yeah, Dallas Austin, Devontae Swing, AC/DC and Journey. Oh, I love Journey. Oh, I know. You go to these concerts, no matter who it is, you realize, oh, pot is big to a lot of artists because they just. I never forget that when we went to that Bad Boy concert, I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like you come up and I mean they were blowing it out. I said, ooh, I mean all through the arena, just blowing it out. But when I look back at concerts, I don't know if they say it was pretty wild up in there too. But when I look back at like big concerts. I see other people. I think of like Woodstock. I don't know why I picture that. I just, all outside is gonna start raining. We're just free and dancing, and there's love, and there's everything in the air. There's smoke in the air. There's everything in the air. I think of that, the good parts of it. But these days, I feel like we couldn't even do something like that. Hey, Renee. Hey, sis. You said, "Oh yeah, oh it's just your luck." That's what it would be too. And that would be so terrible if you didn't even do anything, and it would be because it's in your system because it's all in the air. Yes, didn't even think about that. Oh yeah. Okay, Lala. We'll see you when you get back. Thank you, thank you. That's what I hope everybody did. Just enjoying a good combo with each other. Chilling with your homies. Chilling with the homies. What movie is that in? Chilling with the homies. I'm picturing it, but I'm trying to. What movie is that? You ever watch a movie and think like, "Oh my goodness, that's so true to how things are," but well, what I'm using example or what I'm thinking about when I'm saying this is Mean Girls. Like when I first saw Mean Girls, the first time I thought, what's so funny is school is clicked up like this. Like it really is. It's so clicked up. And then what I also liked is if you really paid attention, you realize that some of the people that people are worshiping so-called in school have more issues than the people that are so-called worship. Their biggest issue is that they don't just see their self, but the people that you are worshiping are so many issues in their self. They so many insecurities and all this stuff. But I love Mean Girls. I actually just watched Mean Girls again the other night. I'm like, I forgot how much I loved this movie. I really did. Okay, Renee. Yeah, I forgot how much I love that movie and how certain movies just take you to a place. So whenever I watch The Breakfast Club, it super reminds me of being young. And it reminds me of just that whole Pretty in Pink era, that all those movies. It just reminds me of that whole era. So it reminds me of that age of, being in that age of my life. If I watch Harlem Nights, it always reminds me of how that young I knew like Eddie Murphy is going to be something bigger than just we could ever think. And how he respected basically everyone. You know what I mean? Everybody under that umbrella, especially the black, like these certain movies. I'm like, oh, the power in that movie. So I'm never surprised that like Eddie Murphy's still out here doing it, and still, I'm not, because I saw it then. Like, oh yeah, that's it. Even though he doesn't even make movies like that anymore. Eddie Murphy hasn't made a movie with cursing in it in so long. I mean, it's so long that you almost will forget that's what he does. Or that's what he did. But yeah, Mean Girls. I just watched that the other day. I'm like, how did I forget how much I love this? I'm fighting with myself because HBO Max has Degrassi on it. And let me tell you something about my Degrassi life, y'all. I started watching Degrassi when I was young. When Degrassi used to come on like 10 or 11. And Emma from Degrassi, the new generation, her mom, I remember when her mom got pregnant with her. Her and Snake. I remember those episodes. So when Degrassi came back in the 90s, I'm like, oh, let's see if it's anything like, that. But it was better because now Emma's mother, the real person who played her mother and the real person who played Snake are literally on the show. And then they end up together, and we all know they would have been together, but then she had the baby by Emma's dad. And so it was just all to touch that. I'm like, wow, good pickup on the storyline. And then I was super in love with Aubrey Graham, aka Drake. Like I was in love with him. I love this little. I don't know. I just did. It was something about him I just loved. And I remember when he got shot, I lost it. But he was okay. You know what? He's in a wheelchair, but he's okay. He's still here. I loved everybody on there. Spinner, I just loved everybody. I loved every character was just perfect to what they were. They handled real topics and they put them in something so we could watch it, just like Euphoria is doing. You're taking a real topic and a real epidemic and real things that are going on with these youths, and they're putting them in our face so we can start addressing them and helping so it doesn't get worse. So I was really with Degrassi. But here's what I'm about to tell y'all. When they decided to take JT out, Danny was done, okay? So it's hard for me to go back and get all excited watching them again and get back in love and fall back in happiness, and then they're going to take JT out again. So I don't know if I'm ready to watch it, but I loved it. I loved it. Degrassi was my happy place. It was my happy place. Oh, Degrassi was my happy place. That's a fun fact about me in case no one ever knew. Oh, House Party. House Party. Classic. Love House Party. It's so funny because when you think of the House Parties, part 3 is the one I'm probably the farthest removed from. But part 2, when I first saw it, it's kind of like, man, you think it would be so much better because you know how a movie ends. And you just like, man, it seems so real to me. I just wish I knew what they did the next day or what went on with them. And so 2 was good, but to me right now, like 1 is classic. It can't be changed. It cannot be taken. No part can be taken out of it. It's a perfect movie. Please don't ever remake it. But 2 is the better movie to me. Is that weird? 2 is the better of the house parties. In reality, as far as like a story, a real point, some comedy, and more of getting to know their characters, like completely. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. I just, like who they really were. Oh, you went to a Prince concert? Hey, KT. I didn't even see you come in and says, hey. You went to a Prince concert? We were talking about that earlier. Oh, man. You said you were traumatized. Please give us. I'm like a crazy cat mama. Please give details. Your 1 is a classic. Oh, yeah. And see, you were young too. Yeah. Yeah. It will be a lot to take in. Yeah, when you're young. I remember when Prince came out on the MTV Awards and his booty cheeks were out, and that's all everybody talked about. Oh my God, he had his booty cheeks out. Oh my goodness, why did he come out like that? Oh. And I really just took it in and was like, wow, at least he's him. He's so into being him that he's not embarrassed that people gonna say, is he gay? Is he whatever, especially back then. Like his freedom in being him, no matter what you thought about it, and it almost seemed like it didn't phase him. Like really was a lot to me because when I was young, I remember he did an interview on like Arsenio Hall, and like was it Gladys Knight? I forget who it was, but they talked for him. And I thought, like, what? And I remember my mom saying, oh, when Purple Rain came out, so many people made fun of like Prince when he cursed and how he speaks and stuff like that. And I thought, but Prince is confidence. Like Prince is strong. Prince is like a leader. And then like even knowing like after he died, how much he did for people and said, look, don't even put my name on it because I don't want to overshadow you because I am Prince. And I thought the humbleness in this man, like it's just so beautiful. And to come from something so different. But yeah, I could imagine being young and then I come in this concert and it's like, okay, wait, the dude has on a G-string. 6-7 inch heels, because we're not even talking about he don't got on no kitty heels, honey. He got on the heels. Like this is the heel he got on his foot. But of course it's a heel and that's not like but these got a real heel on, and still I give it to him. And he still could get it. Oh, I love Prince. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Purple Rain. Ugh. And when Purple Rain came out, like I was at age nobody was gonna take you, so I saw it for the first time when it came out on video. So like my mom never took us to like adult movies like that. Like, we weren't gonna do that. But we always would go and rent movies on Saturdays, and everybody got to pick out something. And so you were able to express yourself. So I remember when Raw came out, my mom, Raw Delirious, like I remember my mom watching that with us. And, my mom was a strict believer that adults could do what adults could do. And that I don't mistake myself as one. So, you had to take those jokes and put them to the side. So like we saw movies like that, or Freddy Krueger, or whatever the movie, because you never knew what your brother's gonna pick. But as a family, we watched them together, So yeah. So I remember seeing those movies. Me and my sister might pick something like Beethoven. Like I saw The Godfather the first time with my mom and my siblings, like because when I was young, it's just, that's what we did as movies, but we didn't so much go. And my grandma didn't play listening to any of that music that had a parental advisory on it. So we always had to play that when she was gone. And probably she didn't really want us watching Raw and stuff, but I guess she said you're watching it with your mama. Oh yeah. I thought that Purple Rain was X-rated when I was young. And then I got older. I'm like, it's really only the one sex scene when you really think about it. So it's like, now don't get me wrong. There's you taking off your clothes to go jump in Lake Minnetonka and things of that nature. But in reality, but when I was young, I was like, oh my God, Prince is getting laid everywhere. I guess I was thinking about his real life, not knowing like it was Prince's everywhere, getting all the women's. I remember when Prince and Madonna was so-called messing around. I thought, oh, what two freaks. Because they both remind me, like I said about Maxwell, of being like open to your body, free. Madonna has songs like a virgin. I'm walking around singing, not even know it. Like a virgin. Ooh, don't even know what she talking about, okay? Madonna in videos completely rubbing and touching. I said, this girl free. And what most people call her nasty, what I just looked at is more just free to herself. Like, wow. In a world where, women, because not even knowing this at this time yet, how much women are sexualized anyway. Everything we do, you licked your lip, you did it like this. You eat, like I said, I got foods that you don't even want to eat in public because some man is thinking dirty. Like, don't want to be licking an ice cream cone, don't want to be eating a pickle in public, don't want anything that might have to involve opening your mouth in a form of, you get what I'm saying? Like, everything is done. Oh, your pants hit your crotch, camel toe. Oh, your boobs. Oh, your So like Madonna was just free, like a free being to me. I wonder what's the food a man could eat that'll make you think that a man would eat that'll make you think sexually about them. I don't know. Men's back make me think sexually about them, like certain movements of their back, and I'm like, things that make you go, But yeah, I love Madonna too. Hey Heidi, sis. Hey, did Heidi come in? I just saw Heidi's name. Like, did Heidi come in? I missed her. He's still sitting there, girl. We go from no bed to one bed, never going in there. Now you got to go in every time and say, what you going to get? I want to get something out of that refrigerator sale. Yeah, I already know. Huh? Oh, go ahead. I just got to mute it because otherwise you going to be seen. Nobody, care about seeing. I know, but you don't probably be on camera. Move the camera. But yeah, now my sister wanted to get something out of the refrigerator. I was telling her I didn't know if she wanted to. It's a chillax day, be on the camera. So, but yeah, let's see. Oh, Oh yeah, Madonna just was free and cool to be herself. I mean, and that's why I was like, hey, she don't care what nobody's saying. She don't care about. And I'm not even gonna lie, like one of the coolest couples to be in the '80s, that was being pumped to me all on my TV and stuff was Madonna and Sean Penn. Like I loved them together. Like maybe because I was a kid. Oh, have a good one, Jill. Thanks for stopping in, sis. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna be wrapping up in a few minutes too, but you get talking about music and things. I can't stop. Oh yeah, the beat. Some songs, the beat just. And so now every time, like if that's a song that beat reminds me of, anybody uses that beat, it always makes me want to hear that song. But you know how you know a good song with like that first time you hear it from the moment it comes on, like I want to hear this again. Like I haven't even heard it all the way, and I feel that way about certain songs. Mm. Oh, I can only imagine your first earthquake. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, The Exorcist. Mm-mm. To this day, still haven't watched it, and I actually just I can't even make this up. So a couple of months ago, was this was probably before I even or right before I started my channel. Amber was on a channel and she was saying something about that you had to watch the Amityvilles in a certain order, and it wasn't like from the first one like you would think to the last one. It would be a certain order to watch it to understand the story. And I thought I've never watched any of those because like The Exorcist. So I put them all together: The Exorcist, Stigmata, because that's the only one I watched, and I was like, oh hell, this is a war. So I really just started watching those movies, and I fell in love with that couple who the one who supposedly kept the Amityville dolls and stuff. I can't think of their names right now. But the famous couple who just be in the movies and everything else. But I just started watching those recently, and they're not bad, but I still haven't made it to like The Exorcist. Nah. Like I said, I watched Stigmata and I walked away from that like maybe I need to be religious just to feel better because this movie was deep. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I know The Exorcist was a forbidden movie. I can only imagine. Yeah, like I said, The Exorcist. Yeah, I get nervous even thinking about watching the movie. But I used to get nervous about thinking about watching Amityville and Annabelle. Not Annabelle. The Amityville is the one with the house, right? So I still haven't watched those either. And then I just started watching the Annabelle with the doll. Yeah. And actually, the one with the doll, the newer ones aren't bad. Like, you know what I mean? When I try to go back and watch the older ones, I'm like, mm. But the newer ones, like, give a better story, I guess, of cases where there were so called huntings with this doll. But I don't like to play with that kind of stuff, period. Like, whether it's real or not, I'm going to respect it and let it mind its business. Yeah. Just like Ouija boards, I'll never play with one. Ever play with one. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Not curious at all. Nope. And here's the thing. I'm not curious because I don't believe it because things could happen or I could wake something that I don't understand. I'm not curious because I do believe. I do believe. I don't want to test it. Don't want to find out. Don't want to interrupt. Don't want to mess with. No, I don't. I told you I stigmata. And she got all that good, but the chain she got, oh no. The Hills Have Eyes. I think I saw part two of that. I think I seen part two of The Hills Have Eyes. Mm. Oh yeah, that'll be scary. That would be scary. You know a movie that used to scare me and people used to be like, oh, it's so cheesy, it's just this. The Children of the Corn. That movie used to really get me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, here's what's funny. When I was young, I compared the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies to like Freddy, Jason, that kind of stuff, right? Then one day I'm watching a movie. Oh, I'm watching a remake. This is like in the 90s. They redid this Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And at the beginning, I'm actually reading and they're talking about it. And I said, wait, this is a real story? And it changed the whole game of the movie to me. It really did. Like, wait, what? This is real? Had no clue. But I like horror movies. I really do. But like to me, what would be the most horrible movie would be more realistic stuff that can happen. So if the killer was just a plain John who you didn't see happening, and by day he was Mr. Nice, and by night he was Mr. Going through the neighborhood slash, that'd be more scary to me. But my sister won't do any horror movies, not even a little bit, none. She is not a horror movie person at all. Yeah, them Ouija would never, Renee, never. If I was somewhere and somebody brought one out, I'd be like, all right, guys, you guys go and have a good one, okay? Have fun. Have as much fun as you can, okay? And I'm gone because I don't even want to accidentally be in the same building if you're opening something that I don't need to. I want to respect spirits, good or bad. Okay, hey, how you doing? It's your space. Okay, I'm gonna let you have it, and I'm gonna get on about it again. I'm gonna move around real fast. Oh yeah, in real life. Yeah, I do. And when it comes to like Jason, I'm really into the beginning one, especially part 1 and 2, because to ever understand any of the rest of the movies of Jason's, I have to go there. And so I really do. And then I like when they make newer versions of a movie and they show it backwards. Like I love how a few years ago they made I forget what's his name, Zombie. I think that's his name. But he made the Rob Zombie. I think that's his name. He made the Michael Myers, where it was showing you when he was a kid and how he went to the home after doing what he did to his sister and stuff. That was a real good because it's giving you more. Because those movies, even if you watch them in order, it's like, okay, I'm really only a fan of the Halloweens that have the Michael Myers that have Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Do you get what I mean? Like, so it's like H2O 1 and 2. I mean, the rest sometimes they go on everywhere, and you're like, wait, when did they get a niece? Who had the kid to have a niece? Oh, Poltergeist was freaking scary. And what made that even more scary is how many people from the show passed away. Like even Caroline, the little girl, Carol Ann. Oh no, and that lady used to scare me half to death. Stay away from the light, Carol Ann. Carol Ann, stay. I said, oh, she is scaring me, guys. Poltergeist was scary. But like I said, I think what scared me more was how many people from the show passed away. The oldest from the original, the older sister was beat by her. Well, this her, the younger sister had something going on with her bowels, and she passed. Didn't the mother pass? Yeah, it was just a lot going on with the cast from Poltergeist for me. And once again, it taught me about messing with the spirits. Like, I'm gonna leave them alone. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I'm in a cemetery, it's one of the safest places I ever feel I've walked in my life. And it's surrounded by people to rest and those that don't. But it's cemetery, it give me peace, especially peace with the loved ones I've lost. It give me peace in there with them. So, but other than that, I ain't messing with no spirit. And even when I'm in there, I'm respecting every spirit in there. Hey, okay. If I see your name, I say, oh, hey, Johnny. Or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? I don't play with that kind of stuff. Period. No. Yeah. Oh, Bloody Mary. No, I don't play any of those. I don't play Bloody Mary. Let me tell you something. I didn't even play Candyman when they said, I'm 100 years old. I already know the movie. Please, I'm not looking at me. I don't play nothing that caused something that it could either be true that it came and took my life, or it could be made up. And I got no. Danny's out. I'm like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys in the Hood. Let me out the car though. Let me out. He already ready to ride for Ricky. Now let me out the car though. That's me. Let me out the car though. Like Doughboy. Let me out the car though. And I'm dead ass, y'all. Beloved. It was one of the movies I'm telling you this like I just told you. Rosewood. It's one of those movies that I watched and kind of put me in a different place. But now I can watch them and see that part of just life and history and understand that should make us more grateful for where you come. You know what I mean? But got a long way to go, but you've come a long way. And you can't deny that, but Oh yeah. See, you go like a military cemetery or something like that. It's really so sad too, because also what I think about is even when I see all of these, flags and this, they're in uniform still, even in the grave, they're in this uniform. But I know that behind some of this uniform are people that weren't even saluted and for what they really did, and they're not even noticed or known. And it's a bunch of names of these unknown people who fought for you and didn't even know you. Because see, here's the thing, when I'm in the military, even when I fight, I can say I'm just fighting for my family, but really I'm fighting for yours too. And so I salute them all, every last one of them. So I go in somewhere like that, I have to. Because once upon a time, I was mad at soldiers for even risking their life for a place that won't risk for them. But without them, there's no one risking it for us. So that's definitely a cemetery. But like, there's just a piece in the cemetery to me about when you go to see somebody. I just, hey, Payne, I didn't see you come in. And the answer is just something. But trust me, I don't like being there all the time, but it's just this piece. I can sit there and talk to them comfortably when I'm in there. And that ain't just me going to random graves. I'm talking about, going to my loved ones. It's like the only moment in the times without them that I actually feel like I got them. That and when I'm flying in the air and I'm in the clouds. I feel like it's the closest I'll ever be again until we meet again. I can only imagine Crazy Cat Mom. Strangers, I didn't see that one, but I'm trying to remember. Because every time somebody talk about a good one, I always think, I kind of want to check that out. Like I said, the scariest things are the things that can't happen. Like, what was that movie, Hitchhiker? And the girl gets in the guy's car and Keith Sullivan, I think, plays the guy. And she gets in the car to get a ride from him. And she was a runaway from like this trailer park. And what is the name of that movie? Is it called Hitchhiker or Freeway? I think it's called Freeway. But anyway, he ends up being this serial killer who had been out and picking up all these hitchhikers or whatever. And so he tries to kill her, but she ends up messing him up. And then he goes to court like he's the victim. And to get her in jail, and they start going into all this stuff. It's just crazy. But then he really tries to come back for her while he's all, messed up. Yeah. What is that one called? And to me, what made that scary, because it was like, let me get my charger, my phone, my computer's about to go off. Sitting in those bad chairs, my whole back just popped. You want to go outside? I think that movie, guys, is called Freeway. I really do. But to me, what made that scary was when I think about hitchhiking, I think there are people out here who are just trying to get from here to there, and they're going to use hitchhiking to do it instead of walking. And then I think about there are people out here who are just, but I would hate to have to be in a place to have to hitchhike. Oh, I would. I'd probably feel safer walking. forever. What is the name of that movie? I'm gonna think about that until I figure out the name of that movie. I know it came out like the 90s. Mm. Oh, Joyride. Joyride is a good one though. Okay, in Alabama. Okay. Oh, Strangers is based on a true story? See, those are the ones I told you. Once I hear that true story in it, that gets me even more. Oh, the ID channel. I tell you, I go through phases where I watch nothing but the ID channel. For years, Sunday belonged to Snap for me. Like Sunday is a Snap day because, and that's not even the ID channel, but just that kind of shows that come on it. But the ID channel, oh, Deadly Women, any show, every show they had on there. Oh my goodness, I loved it. They just had everything. They had that show about the wheel, people's wheels, the rich people in their wheels, good stories. And then when you watch all those shows on that channel, sometimes you get to see different perspectives of some of the same story. So I've seen women on Deadly Women that I've seen on Snap. And so they might be on Snap couples. So I'm getting a different point of view of their story. But on Deadly Women, I'm getting more of an inside look at who they were before they became. It's like just different looks. So I love the ID channel. I love the Animal channel. I love the History channel. These are like important channels to me. Sometimes I just go on a complete, I'm watching nothing but that channel. Yeah, I'm gonna look into Strangers now. Yeah, they look at we're all talking about Strangers. Like I had to look. Then I'm gonna be saying, wait. Then we're all gonna be like, Renee, the scariest movie. After Witness, no, Pain is the one who put us up on it. So it's Pain. Pain, we're coming back for you when we find out how scary it is, and it's based on a true story. Well, you said it had you shook for years. Sounds like The Exorcist, and I still can't watch that movie. Oh, the ID channel will teach you to watch your surroundings. Never move alone at night, because you start watching those channels. I remember before there was an ID channel, and I remember, did anybody watch Unsolved Mysteries? Like I watched Unsolved Mysteries young. I loved Unsolved Mysteries. I loved America's Most Wanted. I loved Cops. I loved any of these shows, anything that just let me know what's going on. What was it called? It wasn't called State Troopers. It was called like because my sister thought because I love the show so much, I wanted to be a state trooper. I wanted to know the law. And I tell you, especially when I tell you when you fighting in disabilities and learning curves, you have to find a way that you can learn about the things that you're interested in or that you just want to be able to understand so that when people are discussing it, you have an understanding. So that's why I also used to watch the House of Representatives, their channel, or I'd watch the Senate and all these things. I had to learn politics and really what it stood for. So I could understand how this worked. Because if I just read it, it was hard for me to understand. So even with the ID channel, it just taught me a different thing about you watch these stories. And I remember taking these classes when I was at Westwood. And some of the stories that you were hearing about, I literally had watched their story on the ID channel. Kid you not. You'd be like, wait a minute, this story sounds familiar. One was when we talked about the murder. Was that in Central Park? Of the Central Park killer. Oh, I can't think of the exact story, and I never want to confuse a story or mix it up. But yeah, and I remember hearing like, wait a minute, I've watched a couple of different ID channel investigations on this, and then they had the People Next Door when they came out with that show on ID. Yeah, ID channel is the business. It is the business. I remember when it was new, and they were just bringing show after show after show, and look at them, they still big now. Yeah, that's a channel I really like. Discovery Channel is another good one. Face of the Forgotten. No, I didn't. Is that a show about missing people? Hmm. That sounds good. That comes on the ID channel, Cat Mama? It's on YouTube. Faces of the Forgotten. Let me look that up. Hmm. Yeah. Because living single is so different than living. I don't care if the man is your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your boyfriend. Those are like two different things. Those are two different things. So when you're single, you have to think about the people. Like, see, I come from an era where, I forget the guy who killed all the nurses. That literally happened across the street from my grandma lived at. So she always would tell us that you don't realize that sometimes people are following you and watching you. And so then you'll watch the ID channel, you'll see, like, this is so true. That some of these people, it just wasn't a coinky dink. I walked past them. They knew my schedule. So to this day, nothing I do is that routine. So certain things are routine, but some things aren't, because in case somebody's expecting to catch me up, I gotta throw stuff up. Like, I just gotta change things around. So today I might come out the back door and walk from the alley up to here, and then tomorrow I'll come back out the front door. It's simple. I just switch things up. Because you never know. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Faces of the Forgotten. See you, Bossy. Thank you for coming by. Hung out with us and been running your mouth. I literally said I was coming on here, and I literally did not plug in my computer because I said, "Oh, when your computer goes down, you're gonna get off." But now we're gonna start talking about all these shows. I'm like, wait a minute, man. Y'all gonna have me on the ID channel or watching Snap? I'm telling you, I used to think I was gonna be on Snap. Born 1979 in Los Angeles, California, and that's just how it's gonna start, y'all. I'm gonna have to check that out. Have a good one, Bossy. Yeah, Susan's like super mod. Super mod and loyal subscriber. Like, she is really an example of good. Much love to Susan. And one of the things when I was picking a mod, when I picked the mod, I said, well, let me just get one right now. And I picked Susan was because one of the things is Susan has truly been to me the same person since the very first time I said hello to her in a chat. You know what I mean? She's always been respectful. And here's the thing. Sometimes people think because my name might have got brought up in something that meant I was in some mess. Like, she's not in the mess. Some people are being brought up and they're not in the mess, like, at all. Like, at all. They, you know what I mean? Like, guilty by association, guilty by not saying anything, whatever. But I just like that about Susan. And I know that Susan comes from a good place. Her energy feels good. So that was it. And that's why I was like, oh, I can trust that. Man, like I said, I truly believe that in reality right now, we should all definitely still be at a place of moderating ourselves. And that's what everybody comes in here and shows me anyway. So that's the great part. But, I know as things grow, it's not the people that care that you worry about. It's the people who come to destroy that you worry about. Oh, yeah, I do too. I love hearing the story of years ago. I'm trying to think of what was that one show I used to love. Was it Fatal Attraction? But it was not the Fatal Attraction is a different one. But it was basically about couples and how these two together made it. Was that Snap Couples? But it was almost like they might have been one thing by themselves, but together this became such toxic. What was that? Not Fatal Attraction. It's not Fatal Attraction. But Deadly Women was like one of my favorites on ID channel. That and the show about the wheels. I really like that one a lot. Yeah, Susan's energy really comes off as good. You know, it really does. And it's hard because you really have to have, I mean, I even say this to people I know who are just starting to mess with YouTube. Like, believe it or not, where you think you shouldn't have to worry about this kind of stuff because you're dealing with masses of people, you really have to have a strong skin to come up around here. Because it can get dirty to where nobody's even doing anything to you, but that just might not be, because none of us came in here for that, period. But then some have to be able to stand the ground to help change it, you know what I mean? But it's still going to go on because you're dealing with lots and lots and lots of people from different places who have all been taught to fight unfair or the wrong way, and this is how they're gonna fight, and they're definitely gonna fight dirty and corrupt and crooked on here. I mean, it's a part of it. It's not, I'm not justifying it, but I know it's the truth. I know it's the truth. I mean, you could be doing something good, putting out a good video. If it gets viral or something like that, I guarantee you there's comments that you think, why the fuck are you put this in here? Like, but it's gonna happen. I mean, you can do the most beautiful thing. You showing a picture of your children. It's gonna be somebody, this thing goes viral, and they're calling your kid ugly and thinking, if you thought they was ugly, why'd you even take time to type? You know, and it's a place. It's definitely, and then being a moderator is hard because I've been a moderator before, and sometimes people hold you to that. Now I'm saying what the person's saying. I'm not. I'm just standing here as like a security guard at the club. You think I condone everything went on in the club? I didn't, because there's a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes you don't know about. So I always respect, you know, that Bossy Beauty. Wait, Bossy Beauty, no. Oh, Red Beauty up here. Hey, Sparkle, congratulations on the 2. Each goal is a good one. I love it. I love it. For all of us, we got it. For everyone out here on it. I like that makes me happy. That's what we're doing. I was gonna do a little upload to say I just made it to my first 1,000 watch time hours. You know what I mean? And shit, like I said, that's that bread. Woo. You know, making sure ain't no copyrights against nothing, is just catching it on the hours. So I made it to my first 1,000. Like, oh goodness, I can't wait to say I made the 2. At least I'm halfway on that part. You know, it's getting that. So I'm definitely trying to do that. But happy Sunday. What you doing, sis? We were talking about music, movies, the ID channel, concerts we've been to, concerts we wish we've been to. Man, everything. Everything. But it's mostly been about music. It's been the music till we started talking about the ID channel. And then we super got onto that and scary movies, the ones you don't mess with, like The Exorcist and stuff like that. We were talking about those kind of movies. Just some Saturday chilling, but like I said, now y'all got me wanting to go watch the ID channel for real. That's what I'm gonna be doing. That's right. Always in your glow. Stay in the glow. I love the glow. The glow always grow. That's what I said, folks. Shit, I done sat in a place where the glow didn't grow because motherfuckers wanted to keep me down or whatever in my life. Like, so I'm like, please, the glow up is all I'm about. I can't even see the rest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has. Like I said, y'all got me ready to go put on the ID channel because I told you. But see, that's not even the ID channel. I think that's Oxygen, where Snap came on. Because Snap came on, I think, Oxygen. But no, Sundays belong to Snap. I would literally watch Snap from the morning. You know how they would run that all-day marathon? And they would run it until the new episode came on at night. And then you got the like Snap couples that came on after the new episode. Oh, Sundays belong. And then I watch, of course, the Real Housewives. So you had to have your DVR. Because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm snapping it. But during the day while I'm making food, while I'm cleaning up, while I'm getting ready for the week, I'm literally watching Snapped all day on Sunday. That would be my thing. And then on Sunday nights also, at that time, I used to watch Fatal Attraction on Animal Planet when people get them animals that would kill them. Yeah, I would watch that because that came on Sunday nights too. Because like I told y'all, Animal Planet is another channel that sometimes I'm just literally like, I ain't watching nothing. When Animal Planet does this whole big thing on either the sharks and whales and stuff, like they have a month to it, I'll be deep into it. Or when they do when Animal Planet did that whole thing on in Africa in the Great Nile in Africa, and how one side of it droughted out and the animals all had to migrate to the other side to get to water. But on the other side, it brought a whole new change because now the lions weren't the most powerful. It was like, oh, it was good. I love that kind of stuff on Animal Planet too. It's very informative of understanding this circle of life. You know what I mean? Yeah, because he would get nervous. That's what my guy used to say all the time. Like, man, should I be nervous? You watch all these deadly women. What is that? What was the name of that show? And they had all those women incarcerated, and like lots of the women, the story was the same, that they had been abused, and because on Snap, there's a lot of those stories. They were abused and they snapped, and some of them did plot it because they didn't know no other way out. You know what I mean? But I loved them. Those are my shows. Yeah, it is the same stories. What you learn is it's just the same stories from a different perspective each time. But that's on anything. Because I remember watching a special on oh my goodness, his name just went past my head, and now I keep thinking Castro, but it's not Castro I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. They made the whole little Netflix show about him. Oh my goodness, what is his name? But when you watch different stories on him, you'll get different point of views. You'll learn how you built these hospitals, how you did. Oh, what is his name? I don't know why his name is not. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot think to say it. You're gonna learn a new way to because that's what they'll start thinking. They go, no, I'm not plotting on taking anyone out. Just really enjoy the show. Yeah, prison shows, because they used to have the one show and it was all these women in there. It was like it seemed like just about every woman's story was the same one. It was either drugs and what she ended up doing, or like robbing someplace, or it was a woman who was being abused and she turned, and she was in there. But it was a good. Oh, what was the name of that one? Because I watch all of them. I watch Locked Up. I used to watch those on MSNBC all the time. Lock Up, Illinois, Lock Up here, Lock Up Texas, Lock Up. Yeah, I used to watch those all the time. No, they don't. It's the same story, just someone giving a different point of view off of it. I promise you, it is. Yeah, now we have reality shows like Just Plain Old Love after Lockup. So it's like, hold on, let's give you another side of this. Love after Lockup. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In 60 days and cancel. I don't know. I'd have to look and see. But that's what happens these days. Hey, Sophie. Hey, sis. That's what happens these days. As soon as you get into a show, they cancel it. And you're like, that seemed like a show should have stayed, and this other show should have canceled. Yeah, I promise you, Crazy Cat Mama, it seems like since the pandemic, it's points where I find myself like, let me pull off and go to like watching HBO Max or hitting Netflix, or you know what I mean? Turning on to watch the regular TV. That barely ever happens. But during the pandemic, like YouTube became everything, where I watch my movies, the show, the this, the that. I mean, literally completely just to it became a whole new planet, a whole new world. But the regular TV, like turn on the news. Oh my God, I haven't done that in so long. If I've done that, it's been in somebody else's house. And they did it. Mm-hmm. And I still get my news every day, world news, all of it. See what's going on with the stock market, all of it. But I wouldn't turn on. I definitely wouldn't get you. I mean, you can still get that on YouTube. I can go to a channel that does the weather, does all of it. So I barely turn on the regular TV. Like even now, I tell people like when I move, I plan to put a bunch of not projectors, a bunch of monitors and my TV on the screen, but surrounding my screen will be monitors. And I have that on the wall, but it'll be more to do multiple things because sometimes I'm multiple watching from devices. And like I said, it's just kind of like with even when I watch television shows, when I'm big into your television show and I'm a supporter, I definitely watch your show when it first comes on so you can get the credits. If I tape it on my DVR, I watch it within the first 24 hours and I watch it all the way through because I want you to get the credit and the ratings because it's bigger than me just watching it to talk to somebody about it or to talk about it, period. Like it's bigger than that. And how we support is watching things. So I'm always that person. So sometimes I'll be, oh shit, it's you going live at 9, 9:15, 9:30. I might have all three running. And that's one to give you the credit, but then you're gonna get a second credit from me because I'm going and view from me because I'm gonna go back to watch it so I can fully listen to it. Because what happens is one may take over what you're listening to. And so, but I plan to put my monitors when I move. So even though I plan on just renting in an apartment when I first get out there, get back, I definitely plan to have that. And then in front of it'll be like a desk. So it'll be ran like my computer in my office, but it'll really be my living room. And then on the other side, I just want to be able to have an area in the living room, like probably put my couch and stuff where I just film off of, like a comfortable place. And then I'm more concerned about my kitchen and making sure, making sure that in every way I have the products that I need to succeed in living a comfortable life and what I eat. That's like most important to me. So yeah, guys, I know I'm getting ready to wrap it up. I have so much enjoyed this Sunday chat with you guys. Just talking about some good old fashioned good stuff. Oh, Love After Lockup is crazy. I mean, first of all. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm so glad it's people that do different. So I watch so many different people that do reviews on these shows. And some of them like Roxy and Roxy and Ashley Miller and even Funky Diva. I've been watching Funky Diva since he first came out, and he wasn't even doing the reviews. He was just kind of doing in his little wig, little judgments about love and hip hop. And I really just got into him then. But I like to watch all the different reviews because it's always a different way. Hey, Heidi. So I've always been about that. This different way somebody saw it, and it's hilarious when y'all thinking the same thing, or just to hear what people have to say about it. Because these shows are crazy. These shows are just say whoever it is who's one of the producers, you picked them good. You you picked them good. Because hot bubbly messes is what they are. I watched that guy get knocked out a couple of weeks ago on Love After Lockup. I said, now I done seen people get put to sleep. Oh my goodness, they put him in a coma. Oh yeah, Heidi, we've been in here talking about everything. Concerts you've been to, concerts you wish you could go to, that if the person may have passed, whatever, some you may never get to go to. We talked about horror movies. We've talked about everything. We just talked about everything, but most of them have surrounded around music. Oh, we talked about the ID channel and how it's one of the best channels in the whole world. I told them how Snapped used to be my every Sunday thing all day. I love Snapped. And how all this talking we've done about that, I'm like, I think I might go to the ID channel when I get off of here. Thank you, Crazy Cat Mama. You know what? The greatness is also everybody comes in here on great. Everybody comes in here on respect. Everybody comes in here on love. Everybody comes in here good. So it makes it even better. It brings a better greatness. You know, we bring the greatness out of each other. So it's the power of love. Oh, yeah, we know, Sophie. You go to bed so early. I was surprised yesterday when your live was on as late as it was. This late for Sophie. Yep, that's what we were saying. That ID discovery is every woman in here. No wonder the men get nervous. Every woman in here be like, oh yeah, the ID left it. Take every channel from me but that one. And I'll be okay. I used to a long time ago love like Lifetime movies. But then I don't know if it's me, but it just got to a point where the movies kind of started getting cheesy. Hey, Maria, happy Sunday, says they got cheesy where you like, okay, this Lifetime movie is kind of, I don't know. I just really got over Lifetime. Like I said, when it came to Oxygen, I liked Snap. I really liked the Bad Girls Club, and then I got over that. Like I just got to a point where I'm like, they can take the Bad Girls Club and shove it. Like I really got to that point with the Bad Girls Club, and I tried to get back into it recently when they just did that whole, bringing back all the OGs of the Bad Girls Club. I tried to really get into that, but even for the OGs, it's like, come on, sis, you still moving like this? Y'all still brawling and boxing on chicks like this? Like that's the part I don't understand. I feel like my whole eye is cold up. Now I got the napkin on it. Yeah, my eyes been so much since I turned that light on. That's okay. But usually when I get off, if it's irritated me the whole time when I get off, I just do my steroid eye drops. The good thing is I have a doctor's appointment coming up as soon as I get back to Chicago that following week. Oh, I can't wait to see him. I can't. And the blessing is I know my eye couldn't have gotten worse because I would know in my vision and stuff. But I almost feel like it's like a little kid. You know how when you're young and you call your parent at school to tell them you don't feel good, as soon as you hear their voice, you start crying. You were so strong. I feel like my eye is doing it because, like, okay, we're getting closer to going to see our doctor. Okay, let me start irritating you more and more here and there. let me do that. And then I have a rag I use for it, but like even since I'm sitting out here and stuff, I try to keep it in one place. And when I use it, then keep it clean. But the tissue I can't use because it flakes in my eye. So the paper towel always works best because it doesn't flake. But yeah, guys, I have truly enjoyed this. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. Talking about the different shows. Like I said, I love most of them. But I'm thinking I really might have to watch the ID channel tonight. Bossy, you came back. I thought you got out of here. She said, I'm leaving for real this day. Puff love. Like, for real. I said, wait, I just seen Bossy. Look, I came back, like, my eye was bobbed. I came back. I said, is that Bossy? Did she come back? All the queens have been up in the building. Oh man, yeah, I have truly, like I said, I have truly enjoyed this. Enjoyed this good laugh. And I promise you, when I first got on, I had on the light and I said, oh, my eye, that irritated the mess out of my eye. And today, I wish there's no rain. It's not cold. It's super bright and sunny. So that's already a day on the eye. But it feels so good on the back porch. And I'm like, I have to be out there with the sunglasses on. So I was going to go out first, but I said, you know what? You set the timer. I said, no, I'll just go out now because if I go out, it's going to irritate my eye and I'll come back in. And of course, the light irritated my eye. But I still enjoyed this good laugh with y'all, this good time, this good conversation. I never know when I get off with y'all what I'm about to go watch, what trivia y'all done brought my mind back to, what you got me thinking about fixing myself, what I'm going to go watch. Always something good. Something good. So like I said, now y'all got me wanting to either watch Snap, Deadly Woman. Wait, what was the other one? Oh, the Faces, Forgotten Faces. Let me look back in here. What was the one you were talking about, Crazy Cat Mama, in the movie Strangers? I'm looking that up. So I know it was Strangers I wanted to look up, and it was another one, Faces, Forgotten Faces. I really want to remember that name. What was that when you said Crazy Cat Mama? Because that seemed like a good one. And like I said, it was one I hadn't heard of. And you said it's on YouTube too. Oh, no problem, Deborah. Thank you. Like I said, Thank you, Crazy Cat Mom. Faces of the Forgotten. Faces of the Forgotten. Like I said, I definitely, matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up right now. So it's already in my thing. Yeah, and sometimes you have to do that. I literally was Mark Jean was in another live and she was telling me something about podcast she had did and speaking as an activist on marijuana and everything else. And after her surgery, and when she told me the names of it, I had to type them in just then so they already be in my search engine. Because sometimes we'll forget. And you get caught up and you're doing so many things, and you're just sitting there and say, be in the chat and be like, but see, once it's in my search engine, I can just look and be like, I know just where to find it because it's gonna be something with because I put a name on it. So yeah, because my short-term memory sucks. Okay. My short-term memory sucks. And sometimes it has a bad habit of clumping things together. So it's like, no, honey. One was in 95 and one was in 2005. They were nowhere near each other. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to get into that. So everybody who stopped in, everybody who was in here, thank you once again for always showing love and showing the best of you. That's all we can do. So y'all showed up, you showed the best of you. That's what I showed up and showed for myself, and we had a good time. I really enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed all the things we talked about, how we went all over the board, but I get to know people better now. I get to know what movies, what we have in common, everything else. So I had a great time. Please, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And most likely we're going to see again each other in some other chat. We're going to meet again somewhere else. So meet back here tomorrow when I come on live. But now I'm doing better. I'm putting up notifications one step at a time. One step at a time. Oh, you go rewind. Yes, like I said, look, we were talking about Prince in concert, and Rock Just Living came in and told us that she went at 15 and was so shocked because it was G strings, high heels, everything else. But we talk about if you're young, but you know what I said, Heidi. Even in them G strings, Prince could still get it. I love him. He waiting for me up there when we meet again, my brother. Happy Sunday, Maria. Thank you. So, like I said, thanks everybody for showing respect, showing love, us all being the kings and queens, because I know some kings stopped up in here through here too, that we are. So, much love to everybody. Happy Sunday. Boss. Bossy, you worse than me because I literally like, guys, I'm get up out of here. Let me go. The other day, my sister was waiting for me to eat. I'm still running my mouth, playing songs, juking, dancing. But yeah, and Heidi, when you said that you're gonna be in my city and I'm gonna be out there too, we definitely got a bump head. I love when real bosses get together, so it's always a good time. And like I said, I want to meet a lot of y'all just on some breaking bread. Like I said, they don't even have to be videos. It could just be on some meetup. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I come through your city or you come through mine. It's definite, like I said. So everybody have a good one. I enjoyed you. Much love to all of you. And I will see you next time. Happy Sunday. I'm going to watch one of these. First, I'm going to look up this Stranger, y'all. I got to look up. I'm so interested in this Strangers. I got to go look it up. All right, guys. Have a good one. See you later. Love.